G'day everyone, what is going on? It is your favorite producer from Down Under, Jhin, back with another video. And in this one, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a trap soul or R&B sample for an artist such as BRYSON, TILLER, or Drake inside of FL Studio. If you are new here though, would greatly appreciate it if you do punch that subscribe button for me. And while you're at it, flick that little bell so you get notified every single time that I upload a video. Friendly reminder that I stream live over on Twitch as well from 10 PM AEST every night, which is 7 AM Eastern. So if you do want to catch up with the shenanigans, would greatly appreciate it if you follow me over there as well. But with that being said, let's get into FL Studio and let's deconstruct this sample. Okay, so here we are inside of FL Studio, and just like all of my samples, not much is happening with this one. We have 6 elements all up. Now, I was listening to a lot of trap soul and R&B, and I realized that they have a decent amount of analog sounds. Now, I have a VST that is perfect for that one, and that one is called Analog Lab. So the first preset that we do end up using is this dual filters sign pad from Analog Lab, and we lay down a really simple chord progression. Keep in mind, BPM is 105 and the key is B minor. So the first chord is obviously going to be a B minor, where we bring in this B, this D, and this F sharp, and we add in the 7th of the A. Because yet again, listening to a lot of trap soul and a lot of R&B, the chords tend to be a bit more full. It's not just your typical triad. Going on to the next chord, we copy and paste the B minor triad over, but we change the bass note to a G, which actually makes it a G major 7th. Going on to the next chord, F sharp, A, C sharp, makes it an F sharp minor, add in the 7th, which is the E, makes it an F sharp minor 7th. We copy and paste those chords over, but we do add a little bit of variance at the end where we do have this D, this C sharp, and this A. Because like I've said time and time again, change subtle things over. If you have the exact same thing playing over and over and over again, the listener is going to get bored of it. The artist is going to get bored of it. Everyone's just going to get sick and tired because it's just the exact same thing playing over and over. Change subtle things, throw in some ear candy, make some changes. But in context, this is what the pattern sounds like. Going on to the effects with this pad, we do have a murder melodies come in where we're using the underwater preset. An EQ comes in where we filter the living hell out of it, because if I was to turn this EQ off, this is what the pad sounds like. You can hear that really sparkly high end. I didn't want that. I just wanted that underwater tone. To add in the EQ to act as a filter. Then we bring in another EQ as you can see, we're doing a lot of notching here because there were a lot of parts that were pushing through the mix, and I wanted this pad to kind of be in the background, kind of be a bit dull. So we do a lot of notching, so we get rid of anything that was actually pushing it through the mix. Going on to the next element comes in from Analog Lab yet again. This one is the Jazz Upright Clean Piano, and we copy the exact same chords as the pad. But all we do a little bit different is we grab this G, instead of it being down the octave, it's up. So we have that G and F sharp together. And then with this A, instead of it being up the octave, we have it down. Now we do copy the bass pattern over just to make it a little bit more full. And then with the top melody, I went by ear because I'm not good when it comes to music theory. I'm not trained, classically when it comes to music. I have no music theory knowledge whatsoever. So I just went by ear until I found something that sounded pretty decent. And we ended up coming up with something that sounds like so. Really nice, bounces off the pad really nicely as well. The effects with this one, we just bring in an EQ where we roll off a lot of the highs, we brick wall the low end, and then we just do this slight notch over here. Just, clean it up a little bit, get rid of that bass tone. The next element that comes in is from Analog Lab yet again, and this one is the Gorilla preset from the Augmented Strings Bank. And the pattern with this one is really simple. We do have this D going down to the C sharp, which gets repeated. Then we have this A going down to the G, which then goes down to the F sharp. The first chord was actually a B minor, but we just decided to go with the A because it's the exact same note that's down the bottom of the piano, so it still has that cohesiveness. And in context, it sounds like so. Really simple. The effects that we have on this one, nothing on it whatsoever. I liked the sound the way that it was. The next element that comes in is from Arcade, and we are using the Shooting Star preset from the Hooked Bank, and we just yet again went by ear until we found something that sounded really nicely. Now to change it up yet again, as you can see, the last note over here is on the C, but the last note for the second part is on the G. That subtle change can actually make it sound like the whole melody is actually changing and doesn't make the melody sound stale. But in context, this is what the vocals sound like.
Take me higher, oh, oh. Love is like a satellite waiting for your call. Take me higher, oh, oh. Love is like a satellite, shooting star.
Going on to the effects with this vocal, we start off with a little altar boy where we change the format down by 3. We bring in a Valhalla vintage verb where we have the mix on 29.2%, pre-delay on 0, decay 2.17, and a low cut of 300 Hz. We do not want to reverb the really low end, that creates muddiness. Fruity chorus comes in, a ping pong from Fruity delay 3 comes in, then just an EQ where we're filtering out a lot of it because I wanted it yet again to sound like it was in the background a little bit. The next element comes in from Contact, and it is the Scarby Rickenbacker bass, my go-to bass when it comes to making authentic samples. And all we're doing is we're just following the root notes. As you can see, this B, this G that plays twice, then it goes down to the F sharp. Now we do have some passing notes that come in regards to this C sharp and this D, this B and this A, then this A and this G. That repeats over for the next 4 bars, but in context, the bass sounds like so. Going on to the effects with that one, we have a Decapitator 2 comes in, which we are using the Beefy preset, and then just an EQ comes in where we cut off a lot of the high end, and as you can see, we roll off the really lows, we boost a little bit of the mids as well, just so it pushes its way through the mix a little bit more. But all of this doesn't actually get routed. For the first time ever, we actually don't have things being routed to a melody bus. Who would have thought? But the last element of this sample that comes in is this perk loop from the J Cactus Vault Bank, and it just sounds like so. Really nice, just sits in the background really beautifully. But yeah, that is how you can make a trap soul or an R&B sample inside of FL Studio for artists such as Drake or BRYSON TILLER. If you are new here, would greatly appreciate it if you do punch that subscribe button for me. And while you're at it, might as well flick that bell so you get notified every single time that I upload a video. Friendly reminder again that I stream live over on Twitch every single night from 10 PM AEST, which is 7 AM Eastern. So if you do want to catch up with the shenanigans over there, would greatly appreciate it if you chuck me a follow. But yeah, thank you so much for being here, and I'll catch you all next week for another video.